What's up, you guys? Here we are, SnapRefund Podcast, another episode. This time, we're in the Bay Area. Eddings, where are we at?
That's right, we're here at FounderCon 2023, TechStars Conference of the year, and it is going amazing. You see what we got behind us, a lot of founders. This is the Expo Hall, Innovation Expo Hall. So it's a lot of things happening, but we want to actually do something different with this podcast and come to you live from FounderCon. So, Cody, here we are, FounderCon, a week away from Demo Day. A lot of things has been happening. Why don't you give them a recap of what the latest news has been with SnapRefund?
Yeah, tremendous growth. It's been an amazing time for SnapRefund. So since launching our platform 2 months ago, we've actually gotten 3 clients. We've done almost $30,000 in revenue.
That's right.
We're seeing a 213% increase week over week in payment volume, and we could not be happier. That mission that we started out with all those years ago of trying to help people have better control over their money, to financially empower people, is really coming to life before our very eyes. It's super exciting.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, and as you guys have been following us, and you should know this, is that we never quit, right? What we do is we've been just taking all these little lessons and all these little wins, and once you start adding up all those little wins, it starts to multiply. And look, now we have our clients live. The API is really kicking. We're here at FounderCon, where it's an amazing event because we're meeting investors just on the fly, just being in the room. And so like everything seems to be coming together. But through all the progress of everything coming together, Cody, it's still not very easy for founders to get the product market fit, to get those sales pipeline filled, and actually make things happen. What would you say has been the key to success for our growth?
A big part of it is doubling down on the customer research, of course, but also really taking the time to do the uncomfortable parts of being an entrepreneur, which is acknowledge what your assumptions are and really test those. I mean, we started out doing peer-to-peer payments a long time ago, thinking that, hey, if we build it, they'll come. That's not how it works. I mean, simply put, you really have to hear it from the horse's mouth, like, yeah, this is a problem in my day-to-day life. It would be nice if it wasn't that way anymore, and then build from there. But not taking that approach, I think it's easy to trick yourself into thinking that you're building something people need, but the numbers, I think, really tell a different tale for a lot of companies. You know, we're no different. Certainly not any better than any other entrepreneur out there. We're all taking our lumps, the daily L's, but sometimes you get some W's, and a big part of it's just trying to stay honest for me. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh man, I think really the key to success is, like I always say, we're not giving up, right? The more that we're posting on LinkedIn, on social media, the more that we're attending conferences, the more that we're getting our name out there and really knocking down the doors to tell people about SnapRefund and what we're doing, digital payments, it's starting to add up, right? So we're building that goodwill within the community. I think that's been the key.
Yeah, that's big. Bless you. A big part of that too, really seeing some of the brand magnification from some of our marketing initiatives has been amazing. Eddings, where were we at in New York recently?
Times Square. If you don't know, now you know. If you haven't seen our picture in Times Square, you can check it out on LinkedIn. We have it posted, but that has been great. How did that make you feel?
That was amazing. That was a great story. So, Eddings, I'll let him tell how he hooked that up, but we essentially had this awesome opportunity to have a billboard in Times Square. It was amazing. Our spot ran for about a week. Back in September, and my part of that story was really fun because I got to take my mom to New York with me. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised, 314, and I've been on the East Coast for a while. I moved my mom out to Philadelphia to live close to me about 2 years ago or so, and that was such an awesome day trip for us. I got us a train ticket, and I took my mom out there. Me and her went and we found the billboard in Times Square. We actually missed it at first because it ran during a certain time slot. So we rolled up. I was like, okay, Mom, we got like this time period. That's when it's going to show. And interestingly enough, we were at the right place. We weren't looking in the right section because Times Square is so crowded, so busy. And our spot ran for a little while. And then I looked up at the last minute. I was like, oh, we just missed it. So we had to wait another hour to go see it. And our train ticket was already bought on the way back, right? So we had to make sure it fit into a certain time slot. We only had a few hours to check it out. So We got some Olive Garden, I think, and just like ate some lunch. We're like, all right, we'll come back in an hour. And then when I came back, I actually met another founder who had a billboard running too in that same slot. And him and I connected, and then my mom, I get to have a super proud mom moment. Shout out my mom. I love you so much, Mom. And she took the picture that I posted on LinkedIn, and I just couldn't be happier to see how proud she was. You know, like her baby was on a billboard in Times Square, and how proud I was that my baby was on a billboard in Times Square, which is SnapRefund. So that was super dope. Anis, talk to him, like, what did you do to lock that in? What was that deal like?
Well, first off, like, just to hear you say that story and just how much it meant to you, and to see that, that's what this is about, right? It's about building this journey and going through this journey and having those moments in the journey that really put a smile on your face, and having your billboard in Times Square is one of those things. For me, it was a surreal moment. Shout out to our partner that actually helped us get the billboard out there, TechStars and Brex. They both were channel partners to support us to get the billboard, and they're really big on supporting founders grow their business. And I just think to be able to, one, have the vision, right? To like, hey, we could actually market ourselves in this big, massive area like Times Square that gets so much visibility in a day. But two, actually do something with that content that we can spread out further than just that 13 seconds or 30 seconds that it is in Times Square, and posting it on social media and really adding a really great caption to it. That right there really drove a lot of interest. And from that interest, we actually were able to secure an article in the Philadelphia Business Journal. So those are the impact that marketing has. That's the impact of building your company from the ground up and actually have these fun experiences happen to you and go through it. And if you can make a family member smile in the process, I think it's all worth it. So it was really an amazing thing.
It was, man. It was awesome. It was super dope. We've been quite busy lately, too. Yeah. A lot of travel, a lot of conferences. Let's talk a little bit about what that has been like. So last week, we were at the Reuters Connected Claims Conference, and that was an interesting moment for us. I actually was fortunate to speak on a panel there on installing flexibility and simplicity for an automated claims system. It's really important for us to showcase what we know as thought leaders, not only in the fintech space, but in the insurtech space and in the insurance industry, because I'm not playing around, okay? We've been doing this for some years now.
Yes, we have.
We've had hundreds of conversations with people in the industry. It's time for us to showcase that knowledge, because when you're a new company, you don't necessarily have the scale to lean on to say, look, you can trust us because X amount of other companies trust us. Instead, we say, look, you can trust us because we live this. We research this every day. We understand regulations. We understand gaps in the market. We know trends. We know where things are going. And I'm not playing any games about that. I'm not going to diminish our light for a second, because we've earned so much knowledge through absolute blood, sweat, and tears. Most people quit, right? We were researching for years with no product before we actually built what we built and launched everything fresh 2 months ago. And I was extremely fortunate to go there. Saw a lot of familiar faces. Shout out everyone who went to Connected Claims. I really have enjoyed all the great response from those in the industry and those who are coming into it, seeing what we're doing and asking a lot of great questions.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I got to be honest. You've been really killing it on a conference end and just really representing SnapRefund in the best light. And when you talk about not letting us go down and giving it everything you got, we're really doing it. The way that we're out here in the space, I mean, you think that we're hugely back, right? Like we're like a fully resourceful company that's an offshoot of one of these big major payment platforms. No, we're two co-founders building this company from Philadelphia, trying to do something that's really going to change the dynamic of the insurance industry for the rest of the world and generations to come. And when you have that much on your shoulder and you're really trying to, I don't want to say disrupt, but enable an industry like the insurance industry to make them more effective, that's a tall order. And the way that you're carrying it and the way that we've been carrying it at SnapRefund, it's starting to pay dividends and it's starting to show. And I think being at that Reuters Connected Claim Conference really was one of those testaments to being a panel as an expert and as a thought leader and sharing what you see your vision is going to be with claims in the future. That was really amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. What are you looking forward to now in the weeks ahead?
Well, demo day is next week. That's a huge week for us. Making sure that we really put our best foot forward and have an amazing demo day. That's really the most important. Next is we have an RFP with some carriers that we're hoping to do some positive things, and there's some opportunities there. Also want to close a few more deals and continue to raise. Get to where we really need to be, and one, being the biggest and best claims payment provider in the US, and then eventually globally. That's what I see. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all that. Demo day is going to be great out in Denver at Google HQ with TechStars. Look, when the lights shine, our team steps up. So I'm always ready to go and perform. And we've been committing our pitch to memory. I'm really excited to go out there and kill it. We had a good practice here in SF at the Foundercon practice session yesterday. We have more practice tomorrow. And I'm feeling prepared, so I'm ready to kill it.
Yeah, I think you're going to do a great job.
I appreciate that.
It's a big month because in addition to that, after demo day, we also have ITC in Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big conference. I think last year you guys saw us in Vegas when we had our podcast. So think about this. This is going to be a year since then, and you guys are going to get to see the growth that we've had, and it's been tremendous. Let me ask you, how do you feel now we're here in San Francisco, not too far from Silicon Valley, like the real hub of venture capital and just building startup businesses into unicorn? How do you feel to make that transition all the way from Philadelphia, working out of our small little basement in our little lab, to actually being here with all these other amazing founding companies and really showcase what we're doing with SnapRefund?
I feel amazing. I would not trade my life for anything, and I feel extremely fortunate every day I wake up to be able to do this, because it's a privilege, and everything comes to an end one day, whether you want it to or not. So I'm really at a time in my life where I'm living in the moment and enjoying giving everything I have to this.
I love that. If you have one piece of advice for founders out there, we're always giving our founders and our listeners advice. With all the things that have been happening to us to where we're at today in this conference, what advice would you give?
Focus on customers. Customers are so important, because I don't know how many thousands of venture capitalists I've talked to at this point in my career. Look, sentiment is fickle, opinions are fickle, numbers don't lie. When it comes down to it, if you can show that people want to buy what you have, that's more important than any number raised on a term sheet. That's not to diminish the value of capital. Obviously, it's extremely important, right? The world runs on money, for better or worse. It's a capitalistic society we live in. But you want to go into any conversation knowing that you have irrefutable proof that people want what you have. Nothing else is ever going to be more important than that for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It won't.
I agree with that. I like that. Advice that I give founders right there. Look, I can tell you right now how pivotal accelerators has been to our startup journey. I recommend to you, start looking at accelerators in your city. Apply for TechStars. If there's a TechStars that's happening in your city or not, just give it a shot. Apply for TechStars. See what can happen. See if you get in. Because if you do get in, there's a lot of value that happens. But if you don't get into TechStars, there's so many other accelerators out there that is probably a fit for you that you should really start applying and getting yourself out there. There's a lot of benefits when you go through the process of working with the cohort that you can start exchanging ideas, start learning go-to-market strategies together, sales pipeline, how to raise capital. Do all of these and I think you'll be successful.
Well said. All right, what should we leave them with? What's our final note here?
Hey guys, there's a saying that everything is going to work out for you in the end. And if it hasn't worked out for you yet, it is not yet the end. This is a true testament of that. Things are working out and it is not the end for us yet. And so one thing that we're going to make sure is that we continue to bring you along with us on this journey so you can grow with us too, because we want to see you succeed. If you ever have any comments, any questions, please hit us up. Hit Cody up, hit myself up. We're happy to help you with anything we can as founders. And never stop dreaming. Continue to dream, but also put the work with it, right? If you do something hard enough, long enough, eventually one day you will succeed.
On that note, thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time.
Peace, y'all.